Good evening, everyone. It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little video for you. A little rundown of the day's news in regards to Manchester United. We're going to be bringing this back every single night, guys, getting in here raw with the latest Manchester United news. And obviously, when there is any big breaking news, we'll be jumping on, of course. But we're here just to dissect the latest info and have a bit of a chat as a community as we do. Hope you're all well. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. Everybody in the chat, Rajat, Natalia, Illis United, yes, mate, PJ, Jonathan Gallagher, Fly Like a Bird, Custom Spoons, and everybody else as well. Big up yourselves. Do us a favour at the start of this stream. Smash the like button on it. Give us a massive thumbs up. Also, share it around somewhere if you can. That'd be amazing. You can retweet the link that's pinned to the top of the chat there if you want to do that. And also, if you're new to the channel, get yourself subscribed, guys. Subscribe to the channel and have your say throughout. Hello there, Colin, John Boy, Josh, Rajon, the Musical Duke, DJ Fergus, yes, mate, long-time hero, and everybody else as well. Good to see you all, guys. Right, well, obviously the last week or so there's been a lot of speculation, there's been a lot of guff going around there in the media. We haven't really got involved too much in it, to be fair, because we've had a little break, but now we're back at it. But in regards to the speculation and stuff that's going on, I think a lot of it is just that. It is just bollocks speculation, isn't it, to be fair? Like, in regards to Ten Hag, in regards to who's going to be the next manager, in regards to all that sort of guff. It does seem like there's a lot of speculation. The amount of different media outlets or, you know, different channels I've seen talking about, oh, Ten Hag decision today and all of this guff. It's just absolutely laughable, isn't it? Like, nobody really knows apart from a select few people in the hierarchy of Manchester United, Ineos, etc. So you can speculate as much as you want, but really, in regards to the Ten Hag news, we'll find out more as and when it happens. But certainly, I mean, it does look like Man United are certainly looking at different options. Why wouldn't you look at different options on the back of the season that we've had under Erik Ten Hag? He did win us a trophy, but the style of play was awful. The football from the team throughout the season just wasn't really up to it. His signings, some of them were sus, etc. There's obviously a lot of question marks hanging over Erik Ten Hag still at this moment in time, and rightfully so. But I personally hold the opinion that if they were going to sack Ten Hag, they would have probably already sacked him by now. You know, okay, fair enough. You maybe don't want to repeat that situation with Louis van Gaal after he's won the FA Cup, just to sack him the very next day. Maybe give it a few days, you know, bask in the glory a little bit before we get negative as a club again, you know. I understand waiting a few days before you would maybe sack Ten Hag, but I don't understand waiting several weeks to sack Ten Hag. It doesn't really add up to me. Okay, I guess they don't really want to get rid of somebody unless there's the right candidate available. Well, there isn't the right candidate available. You know, there just isn't the right candidate available. There's not the clear head and shoulders above everybody else candidate that just sticks out. So my personal opinion on it is, if they were going to sack Erik Ten Hag, they would have probably sacked him already. Maybe that's not going to be the case. Maybe they sack him tomorrow or in a week, or they'll wait until England get dumped out the Euro so they could appoint Gareth Southgate. I don't know. But I just hold the opinion that if they were going to get rid of him, they would probably already gotten rid of him by now. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just how I view it. I mean, let's ask the chat here for a second, guys, for a little bit of fun. Do you think, right now, based on the fact that it's a couple of weeks after the FA Cup final and he's still here, do you think they're going to keep or sack Erik Ten Hag this summer? Get your thoughts in. Now, my take is that, well, there's not the right guy to come in, so maybe they'll just give him the chance this coming season and see how he gets on for the first couple of months. They can always sack him later on, can't they? A bit into the season, maybe go and appoint somebody else. Perhaps somebody will pop up who is available, who makes more sense than the current managerial candidates. Josh Lee says stay. John Boy reckons he's going to keep. Nas says tomorrow. if a signing happens soon, he will be staying. That's a good point, LA John. If they're going to put money into the club, I mean, I suppose it's not the be-all and end-all. It doesn't guarantee that they won't sack him. Maybe they're just signing a player for the club for the next manager. But you're right. You would think that the incoming manager, if there is going to be a new manager, would want to have a say on shaping this Manchester United side over the summer and potentially signing new players for us rather than just the club signing players. I mean, it does happen, but I would expect you're right. I'd expect if you see United sign a player, maybe that is an indicator that we're sticking with Erik. A lot of the chat here, I can say, it does look like a lot of you think that we are going to keep him. Some of you say sack. I mean, Fletch says sack for Southgate. I mean, in what world is it a good idea to appoint that absolute Pizza Hut paper bag head melt, Gareth Southgate, as the next manager of Manchester United? If you want to have Mr. Mid-Table managing you, go for it. But this guy's more likely to get us finishing lower than 8th than higher than 8th, in my humble opinion. Josh Lee, thanks for your member comment. 34 months, you legend. What's going on? He says Ten Hag stays and Sancho goes. Lovely jubbly. Hashtag 34 for you, my man. Thank you for supporting the show there, Josh, mate. Hope you're a good lad. And you think Ten Hag stays and Sancho goes? I think you're right. I mean, just to get onto that news then, guys, let's get onto the Jadon Sancho stuff. The Ten Hag story, in my opinion, the managerial speculation that's taking place at this football club, it's an annoying series of stories, to be fair, guys. We will cover it in a little bit, but let's talk about the big news of the day. After we've given a big shout out to J United for being a member for 12 months, lad, of the Sausage Soldiers, a whole year. Happy anniversary, my friend. Get in there, J United. Thank you so much, lad, for being a member all that time. A whole year, lad. Let's go. Thank you so much. Let's get into the big story of the day then, which is Jadon Sancho apparently is now available for sale, for purchase for another football club around the world for £40 million. £40 million. That is how much we're looking for Jadon Sancho, which represents a significant loss, obviously. We paid £73 million for this guy a couple of seasons ago. He's basically done naff all. He has been very disappointing and underwhelming. He's gone over to Germany and done pretty well over there as well again this season after having that big bust up with Erik Ten Hag and posted on social media about his manager and being unprofessional and just being an absolute lazy toe rag, to be honest. We've seen him perform for United very few times. You know, most of the time we've seen Jadon, he kind of underwhelms. He's kind of somewhat lazy, ineffective, whatever you want to say. But for me, he's already proven himself to be not a real Manchester United player. He's already proven himself to be a bit of a melter and somebody that doesn't really have the bollocks to be a Manchester United player. Let's just say how it is. He might be a good technical player. He might be able to go over to the big Bundesliga, and do well over there. But it's a totally different animal doing it for Manchester United in the Premier League. And when he is in the Premier League, he looks like a chihuahua compared to the Doberman that he might be over in the Bundesliga. So you can blame the team, you can blame the manager, you can blame the tactics, you can blame the style, you can blame lots of things to say that the reason is it's the reason why Jadon's not performed for United. But I think the biggest reason is he's just a little bit gash, guys. And he's got a little bit of a weaker mentality when it comes to this football club. And he's not really a true professional. And he's not really the hardest worker in the room. I mean, by all accounts, he's one of the worst workers in the room. This is why Ten Hag originally openly criticised him in the public, in the media, was because of his lack of effort, really, and the fact that he wasn't giving it his all in training and wasn't really turning up to the levels that he should. And Ten Hag felt like, hey, I'm the guy, I'm the manager, I'm the coach to say this. I'm going to use this as a vehicle to perhaps get the best out of Jadon Sancho. I'm going to try and give him a kick up the arse, basically, by talking about this in the media. It had the opposite effect. Sancho took it personal. Sancho's ego came into effect, and obviously the relationship broke down. So, you know, my opinion is that Jadon Sancho is not really a Man United player, and we should try and cash in as quickly as we possibly can for him. Now, 40 million, in my opinion, is quite ambitious for us to be able to go and get. The reports coming out today are that United have, you know, set a price tag of £40 million for Jadon Sancho. I'll ask the live chat, guys. How much do you think Jadon Sancho is worth on this current open market? Based on his performances the last 2 seasons in the Premier League, I'd say he's a £30 million player. He's a homegrown talent. He's still young. He's definitely a good player. But 40, 50 million, I mean, that is a little bit much. We got absolutely bent over for him, paying 73 million, no doubt. But I don't expect anybody else to want to get bent over for 40 million. Personally, I think that's asking a little bit too much. To be honest, there's a lot of crazy money spent in this market, so maybe he is 40 million. But it's still a heck of a lot of money for a player who's bang bloody average. By the way, thank you so much to, hang on, I've missed it, Jonathan Gallagher, bro. Thank you for being a member here, lad. Let's get a hashtag 38 in there for Johnny Gals, bro. Thank you. Already failed to prepare for next season, pig. All right, steady on there, Jonathan Gallagher. Steady on, Jonathan, lad. It's literally the 9th of June right now, boss. People are still on holiday, lad. The Euros are coming up. It's like, I think that in reality, once the Euros are finished, that's the time. You've got a window of a few weeks. Basically, between now and the start of pre-season is where you want to get a lot of your business done. So I know what you're saying. Maybe we haven't done anything yet, but as long as we get it done before pre-season, that's what really matters, you know, getting the players in there to start the pre-season and just having that knowledge of what's going on. Like, is Ten Hag going to be the man at the wheel? Is it going to be somebody else? Like, that all needs to be wrapped up before the players and the coaching staff come back, obviously, to pre-season. As long as that's done, I feel like it's fine. I mean, we're very unrealistic to sign anybody probably until the Euros are done anyway, especially players playing in the Euros or playing in the Copa America, because obviously you're not really going to be able to have these negotiations and sign players who are out on international duty, and even the players who aren't necessarily out on international duty. There's obviously still, you know, issues going on there. There's question marks going on there with their current clubs, or, you know, etc. I mean, Branthwaite, he's a potential player. Obviously, didn't get into the squad, but he could perhaps be signed sooner than a lot of players. But most of the players that United would be looking at probably are internationals. Probably, you know, it's probably not much business going to be done until the European Championships are over anyway. So I kind of think as long as this is all done by the start of pre-season, then everything should be okay in that sense. But you know what, Jonathan, you bring up a good point though. This club generally does fail to prepare, mate. Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. PPP. Piss poor planning, piss poor performance. That's what we do here at this football club, it seems. We certainly did that last season. We didn't get the players in that we needed in last summer in order to, you know, properly start the campaign well. You know, that's why we didn't start the campaign well, because we didn't sign enough players. We didn't sign the right players soon enough. We're already out on pre-season tour and stuff, and players are coming in there. It's a nightmare, lad. So it wouldn't surprise me if we don't plan properly and quickly enough at the start of the pre-season, you know. Hey, Vutinator, thank you. How you doing, mate? One of my legendary mods. He says we got 57 likes on the video. That's good, guys, but we can do much better than that. We got 161 legends in here. Smash the like, guys. Let's get this sucker up to 100 likes. Every like does help the channel out. It's free to smash a like on a video, so please do give us a thumbs up. It will help push us out there far and wide on the old YouTube algorithm. So please consider smacking that like button on it. And also, if you're new to the channel, do subscribe to the channel. Get yourself involved. Hey Maya, I'm not sure what's going on there with the notifications. Make sure you guys click the bell icon though if you haven't done already, just to get the notifications. That'd be awesome. Thank you, Fresh Drip Art. Appreciate you, legend. Right, so let's look at the news anyway, guys. Let's look at the actual reports. So Simon Stone of the BBC reporting this, that Man United want £40 million for Jadon Sancho. We're still looking to sell the winger this summer, no matter who the manager is. I mean, that's quite a bold claim, but I think it's probably fair. I think he's kind of burned his bridges with Man United here. There are clubs out there who seemingly want him. But the thing is, it's like with Jadon, like if there are clubs that want him, you're going to have to come and get him sooner rather than later. Like Dortmund, for instance. Can we just say Dortmund, right? Dortmund, great club, obviously. Great club. They get to the finals of the Champions League and stuff. Great club, you know, fair play. But, you know, small club, really. Small club, really. Because, Jadon, Dortmund friend. They're noshing him off all over social media, aren't they? We value you, Jadon, even if Manchester United don't value you. We love you, Jadon, even if they don't. That's basically the impression where literally they've got their own, you know, Dortmund account posting guff like that towards the end of the season, right? And it's like, yeah, but you can't, you're not putting in a bid for him, are you? You know, you haven't got the money to spend on him, basically. That's the reality there. Maybe if he's prepared to cut his wages down, he's not going to cut his wages down. He's on £350,000 a week at Man United. So Is he going to go and play for Dortmund for, I don't know, £180,000 a week or £200,000 a week max? Very unlikely. Are Dortmund going to want to spend £40 million sterling on a player and then pay him £350k a week, even if they do like him? I don't think that's really in their wheelhouse to do that. That's not the sort of club that they are. They're the sort of club that signed these players when they're younger, you know, like the Sanchos, like the Bellinghams, like these sorts of guys, develop them, get them cheaper, develop them, and sell them for a lot of money. They're one of the best in the industry at that, of developing talents and selling talents and producing big money players. It's what they do. But they don't really go out there and sign the big money players. So, in my opinion, I don't really think Sancho's that likely to even go back to Dortmund, though he obviously is wanted by them. If it wasn't for the fact that there's just so much money involved, it probably prices them out of the deal. I mean, I'll ask the chat on this one as well. Where do you think Jadon Sancho's future lies, guys? Where do you think he's going to realistically end up? Will it be another Premier League side? Will it be Saudi Arabia? Will it be Dortmund? After all, I don't know. I mean, I just don't really think that Dortmund are in the market for him. I feel like if they were, they might have already considered making a move already. They did get some money, obviously, from getting far in Europe, and I'm sure they've had a pretty successful season in that sense. But still, I think it's just too much money for them. McDonald's, says VKD. Nice one. Mine's a double cheeseburger, Jadon. Sancho to PSG. Well, PSG's a good shout. Dortmund, League One. Yeah, Dortmund, France maybe. Good shout, Natalia. I think France is probably a good shout. PSG, they're the type of team that do go and like to sign these overpaid prima donna egos, don't they? It's kind of what they do. Footboy Brownie says Jadon Sancho isn't good enough for Cardiff, Pig. Mate, fair play, you know. I mean, you know, that's in terms of mentality, in terms of effort levels, I'm pretty sure he would disappoint you guys as well. I mean, I watched him for a good couple of years at Man United. Very rarely turn up, very rarely look like the sort of player we thought we were getting. It's a shame, really, because before that, he was doing some great things. You know, if you look at his record in Germany, and even when he was in the England setup, and he was getting played under Gareth Southgate, and he was playing for England, he looked like a heck of a talent. But it's a mentality issue with him, I think. It's not just enough to have all the skills and all the talent, which he does. He's got an abundance of that. It's also, you've got to have that elite mentality with it as well. You've got to be the sort of guy that's prepared to, you know, turn up to training before anybody else, or certainly early, and put the hours in, put the work in, try and progress as a professional, look to get better every single week. And I think he just got a big payday after signing for Manchester United, and his head's gone basically. He's like, well, I'm set for life, 350k a week. Does it really matter if I train hard, try hard? You know, does it really make that much of a difference, or can I just sort of like coast through? I think that's the sort of mentality he's got personally. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know the guy. You know, I could be wrong, but it's just what I get from watching his performances for United for a couple of seasons, is that he's not really a trier, you know? So that is the biggest thing for me. You've got to have the right mentality as well as all the skills if you're going to be a United player, and he doesn't seem to possess that right mentality to be a United player. Big up Mynamic, thank you for getting your hashtag 6-month membership comment in here, my friend, and supporting the show, lad. He says, born and bred Germany fan here. Looking forward to the Euros, and hopefully I can eat some schnitzel and frankfurters to celebrate. Fair play. I mean, Germany got a good chance, don't they? Germany always very good at the major tournaments. Certainly think you've got a better chance than England. England's supposedly one of the favourites for the tournament. I mean, I just don't really see us winning it under Gareth Southgate. He's too much of an absolute melt. Maybe if we had a proper manager, then this squad of players would be able to go all the way, because we have got a really talented set of players, apart from the defence is a bit ropey. But the rest of it, great team. But with Southgate at the wheel, now we're probably going to melt. But good luck to you, my friend. Thank you so much for getting in here and being a member of this channel all that time. Nice one, Luan, you legend, and Stephanie Griffith, couple of the legendary ladies getting in here. Welcome in, guys. Germany, definitely the dark horses. Yeah, France will win it. Malps, I'm with you, bro. That's my pick. Go on then, seeing as you've took us onto the Euro topic very quickly. Just a bit of a detour from the Sancho chatter. Who wins Euro 2024, guys? Just a reminder, we are going to do a watch-alongs for all of the games on the channel here. So make sure you get involved. If there's a game on, we'll be on live. So Friday night, Scotland versus Germany will be on for the first game of the Euros. Get in there, my son. Can't wait. Love a cheeky summer of football. Get your predictions in, though. Who wins it? Me, personally, I think it's going to be France. I do look at their team. I think they've probably got the strongest team in terms of depth in all positions. You know, but, yeah, Germany, I'm not saying more not good. Well, you say that, Linus, but you never rule out the Germans. You can never rule out the Germans at the major tournaments, because you think that about Germany. That's happened many a time where you think, oh, Germany won't necessarily go all the way, or it's not a particularly great generation. And then all of a sudden, they're in the final or something, mate. Like, Germany just seem to turn up at these major tournaments, like they just do. So you can't rule them out. Portugal's an interesting shout as well. Yeah, you know, they've obviously got a fantastic set of players. I kind of feel like Portugal are a little bit like England, though, in the sense that they're a bit melty mentality-wise. We'll see. France will be winners. Germany, Spain, Portugal squad. It is a quality squad. Germany, yeah, vive la France. Germany or Portugal. All right, thanks, guys, for getting your thoughts in there. Appreciate you. Nice one. Hey, Jamie Smith, thank you, mate. 2 years a member of the channel. Hope you're good and the Mrs. P are good, and the rest of the BB think will be France versus England in the final, mate. Thank you, Jamie Smith. Thanks for being a member 2 years, by the way, my friend. That is awesome. Yeah, we're all good, mate. Thanks for asking. France versus Germany. Sorry, France versus England final. Yeah, go on then. I like it. I'd like to think we could get there. Look, you have to remember, we've got Gareth Southgate, a Pizza Hut paper bag ad as a manager, though. We have seen him get England to the European Championship final, though, but nah, I don't have the faith in him, guys, to be honest. I think semi-final and out for England. We've got a great squad, which will get us quite far, but if you look at how we sort of set up, I mean, he's been the manager for, what, 8 years now, and England still look pretty damn shite in terms of stylistically. You know, like, look at that game against Iceland. I know it was only a friendly, but we're the home side against Iceland. We've got a bevy of talents out there on the pitch. To not create more against a supermarket is ridiculous. You know, like, how are Iceland beating England in that game? And like, it's not even a game of football where England have peppered them and had 10 shots and their keepers had a world-class man-of-the-match performance and we've missed a hatful. No, we just didn't really create that much. We were just shite, lad. And so if you're actually looking at that game going into the Euros, it's like, we can lose to anybody. Now, I know it's not a competitive game of football in terms of actual European Championship. It's a friendly. But you're still, there's pride, there's quality on the pitch there. There's, you know, the team should just be a well-oiled machine after 8 years under Southgate, and we are far from it, my lad. Big up Eddie's Football Waffle, you legend. What's going on? How you doing, lad? Stephanie Griffith, 21 away from 100 likes. Nice, guys. We're creeping up. Keep dropping the thumbs ups there if you haven't done. Nice one. Good stuff. Yeah, so, you know, I'm not even bothered about it, really. I obviously want England to win it, but I just don't think we're going to, in all fairness. Anyway, thank you for the Euro chat. Let's get back onto the United news here. Simon Stone. Man United want 40 million for Jadon Sancho. Now, Simon Stone's reporting that. Fabrizio Romano also reporting it, that Manchester United remain 100% decided on selling Jadon Sancho this summer, regardless who the manager is. Man United board are looking for £40 million fee to let Sancho leave, with interest from Borussia Dortmund, but also other clubs. So it is reported that there are other clubs interested in Jadon, which I don't know really where these clubs are hailing from. Perhaps it is PSG in France. Perhaps it is a Saudi Arabian team, you know, because there's only a handful of clubs that are going to be able to afford Jadon Sancho's £40 million fee plus his wages. And there's only a handful of clubs that would actually see good value in that, in all fairness, guys. Like, I don't actually think Dortmund is one of those clubs. If Jadon's prepared to play for less money, or if Man United are prepared to pay a certain amount of the remainder of his contract, then okay, I could see it being done. But it's still not the most likely outcome that he goes and signs for Borussia Dortmund, I don't think. Even if they want him, just because it's a very expensive deal for them as a club. And he's kind of, you know, a good player, but he's not a great player. And that's a heck of a lot of money to spend on a bang average player. So there you go. Jadon Sancho, though, it does look likely that he will be try to move him on this summer. And so we should. He's been in a good couple of seasons. He's had that falling out with Ten Hag. He's shown his unprofessionalism. And I don't think he's ever really going to be that player that we were hoping he was going to be. He came here with a heck of a lot of hope, didn't he, on his shoulders? But he's just shat it, guys. So, yeah, Jadon Sancho most likely is on his way this summer. But to where, that's the question. Will it be Germany? Will it be France? Will it be Saudi? Will it be another Premier League club? I'm sure there are clubs interested in him. It's just going to come down to finances, whether or not it's, you know, a realistic deal for anyone. It's quite a lot of money to spend on somebody who's quite bang average. Hello there, Bell691. Yes, mate. So we are back doing the United news now. Obviously, we've had a little bit of a hiatus. Now we're going to be doing the United news again daily. So keep your eyes peeled for that whenever there's some news. We're going to try and bring back like the early afternoon news shows and then the evening news shows as a bare minimum. And then obviously when there is any breaking news or big news, we'll just jump right on and discuss it also. So keep yourself locked on the channel, guys. There's going to be plenty of content coming now. And obviously we are doing the Euros as well. So it's going to be a busy summer for the channel. Strap yourselves in, baby. Let's move on from this Sancho chatter. Actually, I'll just get into the chat for a minute. Sancho anywhere but here. Yeah, I'll just get into the chat for a minute about Sancho, then we get on to the next topic. Paul says Sancho will be toxic for his next team. Count on it. Great question, great point there, Paul. Yeah, a little bit of an ego can potentially cause problems, ruffle some feathers, disrupt the harmony at a football club. He certainly did that at Manchester United. And if he was to return to Man United, let's say, I don't know, Man United do sack Erik Ten Hag. If he was to return to the football club, there's that potential as well that it happens to us. Like, okay, maybe a new manager might give him a fresh start. Like, there's a lot of reports that United have had a meeting with Thomas Tuchel this week, and he was sounded out for a potential replacement for Erik Ten Hag, and that maybe he would be able to get Jadon Sancho back on track. I mean, I don't know if anybody's really capable of doing that, to be fair. I think Jadon's just a little bit of a lazy melt. But in regards to Tuchel, we'll move on to the next topic here. Tuchel, he's not for me, guys. What are we doing? Looking for a ventriloquist dummy of a manager now? Obviously, he has done some good things in the past. He's won Champions Leagues. He's done some good things. But you know what? He's also the same guy to turn Bayern München into an absolute well-oiled German machine which wins trophies every single season. He's the first guy to turn them into trophyless melts. That is some achievement. Bayern Munich should be winning something every single season over there in Germany, and they did do for 10, 12 seasons before Tuchel went there. What did he do last season? He's absolutely bottled it with them. So that's not the guy for me. I mean, I've never really been that enamoured by him anyway. Obviously, he did really well at Chelsea, but what happened the next season? They sacked him off for a reason. Probably too early, to be fair to him, but they still sacked him off. We can do better. We can do very much better than Thomas Tuchel. He's just a bit of a bang average melter in my eyes. So, it's a no from me. Let's ask the chat. Tuchel, yes or no? Would you want him to replace Erik Ten Hag? I mean, as I've said, I think only if there's the right guy available would I actually want Ten Hag to go. I'm not a big lover of Ten Hag, I'll be honest, because of the season we've had and the way he's played and the signings he's made and all the reasons we've discussed many times on this channel. But I still think that he's a better option than most of the melts we're talking about. By the way, Lily Gamer, great to see you, legend. What's going on, Lily? Thanks for getting your highlighted member comment in here, being a 28-month member of the channel, you legendess. How are you getting on there? Chelsea Scummers, unite. Hey there, Lily. Thank you very much for getting in, absolute legend. Hope you're keeping well. Lots of no's coming in the chat here. No. Yes, Corrupted would have him. No way. Yes, no. Tuchel already out. Yeah, no, says Jade. No. Well, exactly. We don't want this guy anyway, do we? So, but in regards to Tuchel and the update on him, the latest update, a few hours ago, Fabrizio Romano giving us an update that there was... Obviously, there was a meeting reportedly that took place in France, but Thomas Tuchel not planning to take the Man United job. He wants to take a break, not coach any club this summer. Tuchel currently decided not to continue in talks with United after meeting in recent weeks. United decided on Erik Ten Hag's future soon. So that's an update from Fabrizio Romano from a few hours back. Yeah, Tuchel seemingly not in the running now anyway, due to him, wanting to have a break. He needs a break from all that melting. And obviously Ten Hag's future's still in the balance right now. As I say, I think if they were going to sack Ten Hag, they'd have probably sacked him by now and tried to appoint somebody else at least. I mean, let's have a look at this as well. This is quite interesting. This is the sort of landscape of the most likely candidates to succeed Erik Ten Hag if they are going to get rid of Erik Ten Hag. Tuchel out of the race. De Zerbi reportedly no contact made yet, and again with De Zerbi it's like that's a massive step up to Man United. I don't want De Zerbi anyway. Pochettino is a proven Spursy-esque melter. Like, he's not going to win you anything, is he? He's a good coach. He can build some teams, he can do some stuff, but he's not a winner. Like, Man United need a winner. Like, to be fair to Ten Hag, he might not have a lot of the boxes ticked. The style, the attacking football, the solid defence, the scoring lots more goals, the goal difference. He might not have a lot of the boxes ticked, but he's won some things at Manchester United. He's won the FA Cup, he's won the League Cup, he's got us to FA Cup final. He's won lots in the past with Ajax, even if it's Dutch football. So he is a winner. He is a winner. Pochettino, he's not a winner. He might be able to easily win some sort of Mickey Mouse Guffler French league, but anybody would, to be fair. Anybody would. Pochettino, less likely, just very unrealistic that that's going to happen anyway. Potter, not wanted by the fans, it seems. I don't want Potter. I don't want Potter. Guys, Potter, yes or no? I don't want Potter. I think that's a fair assessment. I think most of the fans don't want Potter, not because he's not a good coach, but Man United need a great coach. We need somebody who's a lot better than Potter and has a much more proven track record of winning things than Potter. What's Potter done? He's built a good team at Brighton, laid some great foundations there at a much smaller club, and then he's gone to Chelsea and he's absolutely shat the bed. That is not a good enough CV to get the job at Manchester United on, I'm afraid. So he's definitely not in the running for me. And then the last major sort of person that's linked with the potential replacement of Erik Ten Hag is Gareth Southgate. And to be honest, I'd rather gouge out my own eyeballs and flush them down the toilet and then retrieve them from the sewage works than appoint Gareth Southgate as the next manager of Manchester United, because he's just basically going to just make us worse. He's too much of a bottle job. He's not an attacking manager. He's not somebody that fits United's ethos. We're not going to play the United way with him. We'll play a shited way with him. It would be dreary. We'd probably be mid-table. We'd probably finish lower than Ten Hag's United. That's really honestly where I'm at, because, yeah, okay, he's done well with England. He has done well with England in terms of getting us far in tournaments, but he's not really done well with England in terms of us having a proper identity or playing great football regularly. You know, we sort of beat who we should beat most of the time, but, you know, look at that Iceland game the other day, or, you know, even just like the way we went about that European final against Italy was very, very pussy. You know, to be fair, it was. It was just very like, we'll play for pens type vibe, and that's not enough for us. We need somebody with a bit more bottle than that. So he's not the guy for me either. So if you look at this list of candidates here, that's realistic that these guys could come in and replace Ten Hag, none of them are really all that good, and none of them are that advanced. Probably the most likely one that was going to maybe be linked for a while would have been Thomas Tuchel, and we've got reports from the likes of Fab that now he's out of the running and he's not interested in taking the job and he wants a break. So yeah, I mean, I think we're sticking with Ten Hag here, folks. I think we're sticking with Ten Hag, lads. You know, just get used to it for the start of the season. I mean, you know, I don't really like what he's done the last year, but if there's not the right guy available to come in, well, we could potentially make ourselves worse by getting rid of him. If you can't go and get somebody who's a big name like a Zidane or a Carlo or an Emery or something like that, which you can't do that right now, then there's no point getting rid of him right now, I don't think. Mate, Vootinator, thank you so much there, lad. Appreciate you, Vootinator. Thanks for being a 44-month member of this channel. Hashtag 44 for the Vootinator. What a lad. What an absolute lad. He says Erik Ten Hag is the man. The rest on the list ain't for me. Well said, Vootinator. Well said. Same here. Same here. I mean, out of the list of those guys, you know, Tuchel, De Zerbi, Pochettino, Potter, Southgate, and Ten Hag, who's actually here already, has worked a couple of years here, has won a couple of trophies here, I would sooner see Ten Hag stay and take the reins at the start of the season for a few months. And that's not based on him being an amazing coach. It's just based on the fact that the other guys are absolutely bang average. You know, and we've already got him who has won us some things. That he would have to change things massively, wouldn't he? He's talked a good game about, oh, Man United not being good enough this season, and we obviously are working on a lot of things. We've got to change, and we've got to play a great attacking, expansive transition football, and all this guff that he's talked about. None of it's coming to fruition, but he would have to actually get that into motion if he's going to get everyone on side with him again, if he's going to challenge with United. United next season, our objective should be obviously to finish in the top four, to try and pick up a bit of silverware. I think it's quite unrealistic to expect us to challenge for the title or to win, you know, anything too much, really. I don't think we're winning Premier Leagues or anything like that for a while. We've got to rebuild. There's obviously teams that are much further ahead of us, rightly or wrongly, like the cheating City bastards or Arsenal Hollands right now, who are just further developed, further ahead. You know, it's going to be difficult to just close that gap over the course of a couple of months in one transfer window. It's not going to happen. But we as a club, no matter who's in charge, really, with the investment in the side that's due to come and that has taken place over the many years that, you know, recent years in terms of the squad, like, we absolutely should be competing and getting top four. And if he can get us on the right track and get us looking like we're doing that by Christmas time, December time, then okay, let's give him to the end of the season. And if he's melting like now, like he was this last season, where we've got a goal difference of basically 0 and he's incapable of getting this team to play good football, then you have to sack him off then. But right now it's kind of like, you know, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, because the right person to come in just isn't there. Hey, Tommy Boyle, what's going on, you legend? He says Ten Hag will stay because no one else wants to come. I mean, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a big, great job, isn't it? It's a bit of a a bit of a poison chalice of a job, though. You would think that if there was an offer, serious offer to somebody like a Tuchel or, somebody like a De Zerbi, Poch, these guys, you think they'd absolutely jump at the chance. But it is, it isn't the best job in terms of like the ownership, the hierarchy, the expectations, the pressure, all of that stuff. It's not the best place to be right now. And also, like, the squad does need a heck of a lot of work. What I would say about Erik Ten Hag, though, is that because of the amount of money that they've already invested in him, I think they would probably want to spend as little as possible on him this summer, because they might not be expecting him to stay that long. Like, if he does start the season poorly, after a couple of months, you can expect that he'll be moved on. And do they want to really give him a war chest of £200 million to spend this summer, if that's the case? Probably not. Probably not. So that's the problem I've got with keeping Ten Hag, is that it just might result in us not spending very much money, because why would we go and allow him to sign loads of new players? Do we want Anthony Dos Santos Mark II for 85 mil? Is that what we want? We need to clear out Slabhead Maguire. There's loads of players we need to get rid of this summer, definitely. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. So maybe you could give him like 50 mil and then say, we're going to try and sell all these gash players, and then anything we generate from that, maybe we can reinvest. But I don't see them spending a huge amount of money this summer based if Ten Hag stays. That's all I'm saying. Because why would you? His track record of signing players is gash. 50-50, to be fair. Half of them have been good. You got the Martinez's, the Hoylands, they're really good players for the future. But like the Onanas, the Mounts, who's the other one that's been gash, guys? I don't know why I'm struggling here, but yeah. There's another player that's really... Anthony Dos Santos, that's the one, yeah. 85 million we paid for him, and he's shite. So, hey, thank you, Stuart Zekman, for your $10 super chat here, Stuart. Much love to you, my friend. Let's get some raw love in there for him. He says, which of the Erik Ten Hag replacement candidates might have the gravitas and backing from owners necessary to stand firm when it comes to forcing these players to do what's required of a league-winning side? Which one of these candidates? Well, I mean, none of those candidates on that list, I don't think. I mean, maybe like a real big name, huge, like a Zidane, a Jose Mourinho type, an Ancelotti type, maybe one of those guys. But good luck getting one of those guys to come and manage Manchester United right now, boss. It's just not going to happen, is it? So, yeah, fair point. I mean, I don't really think there is the right guy out there to do that, lad. So get in there. Thank you very much, Stuart Zekman, for the super chat, lad. Much appreciated, dude. Thank you so much for that, lad. We've also got one from Paul S. Thank you, Paul S. What a lad. What an absolute lad. Thank you, Paul. He says, if Southgate takes us bottom of the table, maybe Glazers will exercise their option to buy out Ineos and opt for a full sale. Looking for silver linings. Right, okay, you mean... So I think you've got that worded a bit wrong there. You mean like Ineos might be able to... Yeah, so they'll exercise their sale option. I see what you mean. Yeah, I got what you mean. Paul, nice one, Paul. So what are we wanting now? We're wanting Southgate to be appointed so we get fucking relegated. And then that might lead to the sale of the football club from the shithouse Glazers. I mean, look, what has happened to us? What has happened to the football club? It is a fucking shambles, isn't it? I mean, obviously the Glazer shithouses do still have the stranglehold of the football club, right? Ineos have come in, they've invested a good bit of cash, and they're supposedly in charge of football operations, but ultimately the final say comes down to these Glazer shitbags who own the club, lad. They own the majority of the football club still. So that's all I can really hope for, Thank you, Paul S., for getting in here raw with that, lad. I mean, silver linings. I suppose if Southgate came in and he shat it with Man United, then maybe it increases the chances that the Glazers get out properly. But not for me. Oh, you reckon Onana's good, do you, Mason? Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I don't think so. I disagree with you. I think to be fair to you, I think he's decent. Like, I do think he is good, actually. Yeah, nice one. I think he is a good keeper. But is he a very good keeper? Is he a great keeper? Is he an exceptional keeper? Fuck no. And Man United deserve an exceptional keeper. So Onana is too error prone, and no, I'm sorry, we can't. I've seen. There's no excuses of him being a young lad. He's 27 years old when he came into this football club. He's a seasoned professional. He should be capable of, of putting in consistent performances and not making all the errors that he has done. He's too error prone, mate. He is too error prone. I think he'll continue to be error prone. I've seen him over the course of a whole season, And because of that, my assessment of him is he's not good enough to be United's number one going forward. While Ten Hag's here, I'm sure he will be, because Ten Hag bought him for 50 odd million. So I'm sure he will be, but I actually don't think he's the right guy for the job, lad. Just got to be honest. Don't think he's the guy. Personally. Yeah, I don't know what you were watching, Mason. I don't know what season you were watching, lad. I mean, he got better as the season went on. Still made some errors, though. Looked solid in some games, but that's not enough to be solid, lad. You've got to be exceptional to be a Manchester United goalkeeper. I mean, look at how many unbelievable seasons David De Gea had at this football club. You know, it's like you can't even compare. And actually, if you think about like Man United's Champions League performance last season, yeah? His Champions League performance, Andre Onana's Champions League performance was a 1 out of 10. Like, he is a contributing factor for Man United failing to get out of the group in the Champions League. He made errors in both the Galatasaray games, big calamitous errors. He made errors in that Bayern Munich game. Like, Onana got us dumped out the Champions League, mate. Just so you know, I mean, not just Onana, of course. We can't just blame Onana. Not just Onana. But Onana's big errors, those high-profile errors near the start of the season there in the Champions League, are a big contributing factor why we failed to get out of that group, lad. That's the sort of keeper we're dealing with. So, you know, I can't share that same opinion. Yeah, I agree with you. Kate Cadet, Onana will cost us 15 points a season. He's great at slow-mo diving. Exactly, Billy. You know, I just say it how I see it. To be fair, you know, I'm not necessarily always right, guys. Just most of the time. But no, you know, everybody's got their own different opinions on players. You know, that's just how it is. He actually was, you know, up for some, you know, Yashin awards and stuff last season. He was in the Champions League final with Inter last season, so he's no mug. He's no mug. But he's also not a fantastic number one for Manchester United, and that's what I care about. I care about somebody who can do the job for United. Like, for instance, Fabian Barthez was a great keeper, wasn't he, back in the day? But was he great for United? No, he wasn't. He was an eccentric, error-prone melt who cost us quite a lot of points in quite a lot of games. It just fundamentally didn't work out for him at the club because of that. It wasn't a good fit. Yep, that's true. Yeah, good thing is about Erik Ten Hag is he's very involved with the youth teams. He went to lots of games, training sessions this season. He's very good at improving, preparing younger players for the step up in levels. Well, I would like to see him play more youth players, in all fairness. Like, that's a good argument. And, you know, he definitely has done well with the likes of Mainu, the likes of Garnacho. But how about some of the other guys? Why were we playing like loads of players out of position, senior players out of position, rather than maybe giving a chance to a youngster that we haven't seen too much from? I would have liked to have seen him do that a little bit more. I know he did do well with Garnacho and Mainu, and you can't argue that the development of those guys under Ten Hag has been brilliant. But I would have liked to have seen a bit more from him, to be fair. Mate, Atkins 21, big up yourself, Atkins 21. Thank you so much for the super chat here, Atkins. Hello to you. He comments and he says, evening pig. Mate, we need a Busby Babes type revolution with young academy players and with reserve players. That is what needs to bring glory. So that's how it should be at United. Youth and courage and all of that, mate. Absolutely. Play in the youth, develop in the youth. That should be a big part of our identity. Of course, you want to sign the top players. You don't want to wait around 5 years for the team to develop and flourish into a team good enough to challenge for things. But that is a big part of Man United. We should definitely be doing that. In all fairness to Ten Hag, though, while he's been at the club, he has established Garnacho and Mainu as just that. Like, those are the two players to me that actually had the most satisfactory seasons the last season just gone, probably based on their age and their the expectation on their shoulders, to be fair, because it obviously wasn't that big. You're not expecting Kobbie Mainoo to break into the team and be one of our best players, but he was. So, you know, but he has done tremendously with those couple of guys. I just want to see it maybe a little bit more. I'd like to see him give some more chances to some of these fringe youngsters that we haven't seen enough of. But yeah, absolutely well said there, Atkins 21. Thank you so much. We do need a big revolution in regards to bringing a couple more youngsters through. Good shout. You'd rather start Bayender. Paul, great shout. Bayender's better than him. I bet my money on that. Right, Bayender looks good, and Bayender was not afforded any opportunities. My humble opinion, my take on that is that it's because Ten Hag has to try and save some face there, doesn't he? If he's the guy that signed off on bringing in big Andre Onana for 50 mil and he's just decided that he needs to be tossed onto the scrap heap, well, that makes him look really bad. So he's almost rather just like keeping this guy going in the hope that he's going to turn the corner and be really good, rather than perhaps making the right decision, to drop him and give Bayender a chance. The fact we only saw Bayender for like one game in the Cup, that is kind of just absolutely ridiculous. We should have seen him more so based on Andre Onana's pretty bang average performances throughout the season. He had some good times of it, but if I have to rate Andre Onana's season overall, it's average. It's very average. Sometimes he was good, sometimes he was very bad. It equals an average of being average. Jarvis Cocker, a legend, has entered. What's happening, Jarvis? Good to see you. He says Onana is brilliant with his feet, but dodgy with his arms. Don't trust him entirely, but feel he can come good, but he needs to improve. Yeah, fair one. So, good with his feet, dodgy with his arms. You know, one thing I would say about that is, my take on that is I was expecting more from him with his feet. I was expecting him to come in and, from what we were seeing last season for Inter, and what we were hoping for, the change from De Gea to this guy. De Gea was notoriously not great playing out from the back with his feet. Good at everything else, but not great at playing out from the back. I was expecting there to be more from Andre Onana in regards to playing out from the back in regards to his feet. But actually, I was pretty underwhelmed with him. Look, I know he played a nice few sprayed passes up the pitch and got us going on a few attacks and stuff. Big whoop. I was expecting a little bit more from him. I was expecting to see more play out from the back for Manchester United. I guess he can only do so much. It's a lot on the midfield, the rest of the team. But it's not like he's revolutionised Man United's play style by playing out from the back or anything. I kind of think he underwhelmed in that department too, personally. Maybe it's because we're expecting a lot more. He is good with his feet, though. He is good with his feet. But dodgy with his arms, mate. That's the most important thing with a goalkeeper, isn't it? Is stopping the opposition from scoring. Yeah. Nice one. Great comment, though, lad. Thank you for getting in here, Jarvis. Hope you're having a good one, my friend. He's made errors with his feet. Well, he has. There's a couple of high-profile ones where he's passed it out, and it's led to a goal. He's not devoid of anything. To be fair, it's just that's how it is. It goes like that. He's made some errors. All keepers are going to do that, especially when you are the sort of player that's trying to play out from the back all the time. But I haven't been exactly overly impressed in that regard from him, I must say. Right, okay, let's carry on here anyway with a couple of little bits of news and stuff, guys. Obviously, we've talked about Sancho, £40 million price tag on his shoulders now. Hopefully, we could see him gone this summer, but where to? That's the question. Tuchel, not planning on the Manchester United job. He's taking a break. Don't think he's the right candidate anyway. We're looking at this list of potential Man United managers. None of them are all that good. None of them really that likely. So the likelihood is increasing for Erik Ten Hag to stay at Manchester United. That is sort of what the likeliness is at this moment in time. Obviously, that can change. Like if we were to, see a manager become available, like Ancelotti decides, I'm just going to go and I want to challenge in the Prem for Man United or something, then of course we're going to try and do everything we can to sign him. But that's like a 1% chance. Like, he's not going to do that, is he? It's not going to happen. Same goes for Zinedine Zidane. There's obviously a lot of hope that maybe Zinedine Zidane might want to join Manchester United. He's won multiple Champions Leagues. The guy's obviously got a big track record of winning with big teams. But that's not likely. So, look, the most likely thing right now, guys, if I was a betting man, is that Ten Hag manages Man United at the start of the season, and we probably, see Ten Hag here for the start of this new season, guys. That's my honest opinion. We probably won't spend too much money, because why would you spend so much on a guy that's spent loads already and not really got a lot back from it? But even so, we're likely to see Ten Hag still here. In regards to signing players, though, right? So why are we not going for this lad? David Ornstein, 6 hours ago, reporting that Bayern Munich made an offer in the region of €35 million to Fulham for João Palhinha late last week. Proposal not accepted, but dialogue ongoing as we work to reach an agreement with Fulham for 28-year-old Portugal international midfielder. Smash a one if you'd like a bit of João Palhinha action, guys. I mean, I've really admired this player for several seasons. If you look at like his stats in terms of like winning the ball, challenges, tackles, ball recoveries, he's always right up there in regards to the Premier League statistics for midfielders, if not number one. So it's like, if we want to it's not many better sort of destructive midfielders in the Premier League with experience that are in their prime than this guy. And he represents good value. So I know, look, this isn't going to happen. We're not going for him. He's going to go to Bayern. But it just pisses me off that Man United are not in that position where we are capable of even going to get João Palhinha right now, because we should be looking at players like this. Look, Casemiro's Casemiro, and he's probably still going to be here, and he's a good player and everything, and but he's getting on a little bit. And even if he wasn't getting on a little bit, you still want to have more help, you still want to have extra depth, you still want to have quality in the team for all occasions. So it's another one of these players that I think we're just going to miss out on there. Very annoying. Another player we're linked to at the moment is obviously Branthwaite, and I could see that one, materialising. United obviously do need to bring in a new defender. We're going to probably see maybe the end of Harry Maguire this summer, or, who knows, Lindelof, whatever. Who knows? There's many a different player that we should probably be moving on this summer. We've gone through this before, like 6, 7, 8 players that we've got that could potentially go this summer. Obviously Martial's gone, Varane's gone. That's a good start. Varane's already needs replacing. But then there's players like Maguire. There's players like Lindelof. There's, there's question marks over players like McTominay even. I mean, I think McTominay's a decent squad player to keep, but, who knows if he's going to be happy to do that. We'll see. Eric Dyer inbound. Don't, lad. Don't. Absolutely don't. So, it's one of those. It's one of those. Yeah, exactly. Tommy Boyle, great shout. He says 3 seasons in a row, most tackles won. 28 years old. Why on earth we're not throwing money at Fulham is baffling to me. Well said. I mean, I think maybe United have this sort of approach right now where we're looking to sign a younger sort of player. But why? 28 is not 33. 28 is your prime. You're going to get the best years out of something. That's the sort of age that you should be signing a midfield maestro for, in my opinion. And like you say, Fulham are going to be selling this summer. They are going to be selling. It's not a ridiculous amount of money. When you look at how much players go for around the world, like 35 million, 45 million for a player of that caliber, it's cheap. It's cheap. So I don't know why we're not trying absolutely everything in our power to go and sign João Palhinha. I think he would be a great addition to the squad. He's an absolute midfield destroyer. He would give us a bit of bollocks in that midfield, which is something we've been seriously lacking through this season anyway. Mate, thank you, Sully Griffin, bro, for gifting out a membership on the channel. Thank you so much there, Sully Griffin, you hero. Let's go, Sully. Thank you so much, Sully Griffin. Let's get some big love in there for Sully. The membership's gone to Hogwarts Brokers. You are now a member of the channel, courtesy of Sully Griffin. Sully, you're an absolute lad. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Sully Griffin, for that. Hero, lad, hero. Right, anyway, guys, I'm going to get into the live chat now. Let's get into the live chat. Pep Southgate incoming. Oh, hey, Jesse Talks Football. What's going on with you? Hope you're good. Absolutely, get in there. Good to see you. Well, we're going to get into the live chat now, folks. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're new. Smash the like on the video. Give us a big thumbs up. Also, have your say if you want to talk about any of the topics we've discussed here today. Sancho, Erik Ten Hag, Tuchel, Palhinha, any potential signings or anything. Get your thoughts and opinions in here now. About anything we've discussed. Now it's time for the Q&A of the video, guys. The Yorkshire Cowboy, sorry I missed your super chat there, mate. He says, Pep, Klopp, Erik Ten Hag for recent successes in the Prem, 2 cups. What does that mean? Pep, Klopp, Erik Ten Hag for recent successes in the Prem, 2 cups. Well, okay, right, so you're talking about recent successes in the Prem. I think Klopp is a little bit overhyped in the sense that he's only won the 1 Premier League title, the 1 Champions League there. But actually, what he did at Liverpool is commendable. He did, bring around success again for them. It's not like 4 seasons in a row like Pep. But Klopp is obviously a great coach. He's obviously a great coach. I don't like the guy. But in terms of the way his teams play football and how he's got his teams to play over the time that he's been in the Premier, I've got nothing but respect for it, to be honest with you. Ten Hag's going to have to go a long way to matching those 2 guys, particularly Pep, obviously. But to say that Ten Hag has not had any success is actually wrong, because he has had some successes. It's a success to get to the FA Cup final and beat Manchester City, one of the best teams in the world, in a game of football and win the trophy. That is a big success. It's a big success to win the League Cup against Newcastle United last season as well, and get to the FA Cup final last season as well. Those are successes. Can't argue with that, mate. You're absolutely right. It's just the rest of the pie that's shite, Like, that slice of the pie tasted nice. It really did. That FA Cup final slice was nice. But you get round to the outer crust on the other side, mate, and it's filled with shite. Let's be real. The way we played, the style, the goal difference, everything, absolutely abominable. It's an abominable snowman of a season, mate. So it's no good. But at the same time, he's not failed in terms of winning things. He's not failed in terms of winning a few things. You're afraid Pellistri gets sold? Well, I think we should keep Pellistri personally. I don't know why he's not been given much opportunities. Jarvis Cocker, thank you. He says, people, please hit the like. Cheers, Jarvis. Yeah, smash that like button if you haven't done. Every little like helps the channel out. First news stream back for a good couple of weeks, but we are going to be now doing them regularly, couple a day. So get yourself locked in on the channel, guys. Smash the bell icon for notifications. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. That way you won't miss any of the streams, etc. Nice one, Jarvis. Yeah, smash the likes up there. Hey, Tony Snooker fan, get in there, my man. Thank you so much for the super chat, dude. Oh, no, dude. That's fucking awful, man. I'm so sorry to hear that, Tony. That's bloody awful, mate. Found out this late afternoon my mum has terminal cancer. They can only shrink it. It's the pancreas that went to the liver. Oh, mate, pancreatic cancer is one of the worst, dude. That is fucking awful, mate. I'm so sorry to hear that, Tony, lad. Let's just get some big love in there. Sending all the love and prayers to you and your family right now, Tony. I'm so sorry to hear that, mate. Tony's one of the legends of the channel. That is awful news, Tony Snooker fan. I'm so sorry to hear it, dude. Or I can only hope that, you know, she does somehow make a miraculous recovery, or, you know, that she's getting all the best possible treatment, etc. I can only hope for the best for you, my friend. I'm sorry to hear that, Tony. Let's get some big love in there for our friend Tony Snooker fan, guys. I'm so sorry to hear that you're going through a tough time like that, man. Big love to your mother, my friend. Sorry to hear that, bruv. Oh my goodness. Puts things into perspective, really, doesn't it, guys? You know, when we're talking about managers and football and stuff, it does put things into perspective. What's really important in life, you know. So, yeah, sorry to hear that, my man. Really sorry to hear that. That's a gash situation, lad. Goodness me. Yeah, absolutely. Look at this community, though, getting that love in there for Tony. Big love to you, Tony, my friend. Absolute legend of the channel, my friend. Right, it's Q&A time then, guys. Let's get into it and have your say. I'm going to stick on here for a good 5-10 minutes or so. Get your thoughts and opinions in. Drop a like for good measure. Subscribe if you want to chat. And let's get stuck into anything, you know, that we have discussed here. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's horrible when stuff like that happens. I mean, you know, obviously you guys know my mum passed away last year. My father passed away 5 years ago. You know, it's a sad reality of life. The only hope is that you can just cherish the opportunity, cherish the moments, and make the most of all the opportunities you have with your loved ones while you can. You know, that's all you can really do. So just try and cherish what time you've got there, Tony Snooker fan, lad. You know, that's what I would say to you, my friend. It's like, it is going to happen to us all, unfortunately, but just try and make the most of it while you can, lad, you know. Hogwarts Broker says, Amadou Onana, he would be a good signing, wouldn't it? Young. Yeah, definitely a good player, mate. Absolutely, yes, absolutely a good shout. But do we want another Onana in the side, mate? You know, isn't that a bad omen? I don't know. Raja, I'm actually not playing FIFA tonight. You're gonna have to forgive me, guys. I'm feeling I didn't get up too late today. I got up early, and I'm just really tired. And I'm not doing a late night FIFA stream tonight. But we are back on tomorrow night with it, so don't worry, it'll be back tomorrow. But tonight we're just doing a little United chat, and then we'll get back to the FIFA tomorrow, lad. Thank you, Fresh Drip Art. I appreciate you, lad. Thank you, the Hoop Man. That's it, man. And that goes for everybody, you know. Sometimes you know, you have these falling outs with friends, family, whatever. And when it comes down to it, it's like you've got to try and just get over that shite, because, you know, you once they're gone, you know, you'll wish that you just didn't fucking fall out about any guff. Not that I fell out with any of my family members who passed away. I didn't, but I'm just saying there's a lot of, you know, silly things that people hold on to in life which are just not important. The most important thing is making the most of the time that we have, you know, with the people that you have. Turum's fucking quality. Yes, very good player actually over in the French league, lad. Doggy says, can see it being a busy transfer window. Who realistically can you see United signing? Doggy G, thank you so much for your comment. So for me personally, right, I can see us realistically signing, you know, a couple of players. Maybe we could sign Branthwaite. I think that is quite realistic. Maybe we could sign Elise, perhaps, you know, that could be somewhat realistic. I could see us maybe going to do a bit of business for a forward, like, you know, because obviously we've got Højlund, but we need some extra firepower up there. We need some help. I don't know, maybe like a Tony type player. I could see us potentially going to bring in. I don't know. You know, it depends on who the manager is. It depends on how much sort of budget we've got. It depends on how many players we can move on. There's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts with this summer transfer window. For instance, if Ten Hag stays, they probably won't chuck a lot of money at him because he's already got a track record of spending pretty gashly. If they bring in a new manager, they're going to want to invest a lot of money. It's Ineos' first proper summer. They're going to want to make a statement. I'd expect them to back a new manager with a lot of money. So we might be expecting to sign loads of players, you know. And then If you look at the other option is, you know, if we sell players that we've currently got, like if you see Maguire's of this world sold and we have to replace, we will have more money to replace. We might be able to spend and buy more. But honestly, it's like I don't really see Man United having that busy of a transfer window if Erik Ten Hag stays here. I think we'll sign a few players. I think we'll spend 100 million or something, but I don't think we'll spend 200 million. You know, I hope I'm wrong, because I think United need exactly to do just that. I think we need to spend big this summer. We need to get rid of 6 or 7 of the underperforming first team players and replace them with good players. So, I mean, that's what we need, but I actually don't see it happening if Ten Hag stays, personally. If we sign more guff, I'm going to kick off. Right, so, yeah, that's it. That's it. I mean, it's signing players is one thing, but you got to sign the right players. So, like last season, we definitely crapped out there. We definitely signed the wrong players. Imagine if we'd have just signed David De Gea up for another season, if we'd have bought in a midfielder like, I don't know, just somebody who's not Mason Mount, because Mason Mount was a total waste of time. Let's say Palhinha, let's say, you know, James Maddison tailed off towards the end of the season, but the first half of his season at Spurs was brilliant, and he was 20 mil less than Mason Mount. You know, players like, you know, players who represent good value for money. We didn't do that last season. We overspent on all of our players. Even Højlund was very expensive, even though he's good and did well in his first season. But you look at the other players we signed, Mason Mount, Andre Onana, those were failures, guys. Those were big time failures. So, you know, it's like, if we're going to sign more guff, what's the point? What we should have done is obviously signed Kane, signed De Gea up to a new contract, not signed Mount, not signed a lot of the players that we did. Leave Rashford on the sidewalk in a bin bag. Hey, fair play to you, Bruce McIntosh. Crap season from the guy. Absolute bottle merchant. He's definitely lost a lot of the faith that us Man United fans had, or certainly he's lost my faith in him anyway. I really was a big supporter of Rashford, based on, you know, well, I thought he was getting better and better and better and better, but last season was just like a lot of lazy performances from him. I don't like the mentality of the guy, to be fair, on the pitch. Yeah, not for me. So I don't know. I think we're keeping Rashford though, mate. I honestly don't think we're going to sell Rashford, man. Who's going to go and buy Rashford for big money? We're stuck with him, mate. You know, we're stuck with him. Hey, have a good one, Duke. Thanks for getting in, you beast. Appreciate you. You think Anthony's a half decent player, mate? He gets so much abuse. You reckon he's half decent? Yeah, I reckon he's half decent as well, lad. He's got a left leg on him. He's half decent. The other half is absolutely gash. You know what I mean? Which makes him bang average, lad. You know, half decent's the right way of describing him, really, lad. That's it. He's half decent, half gash, which means he's not really good enough for Man United, is he? I'm just going to put out some stats. I've got these stats memorised in my head, guys. He played 29 times in the Premier League this season for us, right? 29 times. Anthony Dos Santos featured for Man United in the Premier League alone. Not the other games, just the Premier League. 29 times. Do you know how many goals and assists he got in those 29 games? 1 goal, 1 assist. That's not even half decent, is it, to be fair? That is pathetic. And that is unreal. You can't get away from those stats, lad. You know, okay, he's had some decent games. He's had some decent performances. He's a battler. He tries. That's only so much, mate. You've actually got to perform. You know, in reality, if we're being honest, if he was playing for a different manager, or Ten Hag wasn't the guy in charge who signed him for all that money, he would have been sacked off after 10 games and we'd have been given opportunities to Amad Diallo much sooner. But because Ten Hag again signed him and knows him and loves him and had him at Ajax and is his friend, Ajax friend, because of that, he's stuck with him and it's failed the team. So, nah, to me, Anthony Dos Santos is not good enough, personally. Pig, who do you think has the potential to win the Ballon d'Or? Do you mean what Man United player has the potential to win the Ballon d'Or? I mean, only a couple of the youngsters, really. I mean, I could see maybe Garnacho one day being in contention, not for a while, but maybe one day. That's a tough one, man. That's a real tough one. You never know how anybody's career is going to pan out. If you're talking about other players who are not Man United players, then maybe Vinicius Jr.'s up there at the moment for, you know, a clear candidate to potentially win it. You know, not the best year for Ballon d'Or contenders, in all honesty. Yeah, Vinny says Rajat. He's Division 1 quality, says Chappie. Ten Hag double standard, Pig. Yeah, fair. 1 goal, 1 assist, and 2 photos by his private photographer. What an egotistical knobhead. Yeah, fair play, lad. Stop disrespecting my manager, Erik Ten Hag, fan manager. Fair enough, Lucky Singh. Well, I mean, you know, I'm not really trying to disrespect him. I'm just giving my opinion about how I feel about how we've played and how he's coached the side. And he has signed Anthony Dos Santos and chose to play him 29 times in the Prem without getting anything back from him. That's his fault. Mainu or Garnacho, yeah, Mainu's a good shout. Maybe he could go and do some great things. He was a baller at Ajax. He melted in the Premier League. It happens a lot, players coming over from the Eredivisie. It's a totally different league, totally different culture, much harder, much more competitive, way more difficult. So, yeah, it's no surprise that Garnacho and Mainu run rings around Anthony. Spot on they do, yeah. I mean, I would have rather have seen Pellistri not loaned out this season and him given chances. I would have much rather seen Amad Diallo given chances over Anthony Dos Santos. Mate, thank you very much, Adam Partridge. Good to see you. Hop on well, mate. Hope you're well, mate. Come on, United. You're looking forward to the Euros. I am, mate. Yes, we're going to be doing Euro watch-alongs for every single game, starting on Friday night, Germany versus Scotland. Come and join us. Stephen Shipman, you legend. What's going on, my lad? Bruno, when he goes to Madrid. Well, he's definitely our best player, isn't he? So, you know, I just hope we can keep hold of the man, you know, long term. I wouldn't begrudge him, though, getting fed up with Man United if we're finishing 8th and not winning the big trophies. I mean, he has done well in the sense that last 2 seasons he's won 2 trophies, but they're not the big trophies. It's not the Premier League. It's not the Champions League. You know, and Bruno Fernandes is the quality player that deserves to be challenging for those things and playing for the best teams in the world. He just is. Nathal Anazi, what's going on, mate? Hello to you, both friend. Welcome in. Pig, you should play UFC 5. Yeah, maybe I will give it a go. Is it on Game Pass, is it? You don't like I am backing him. I don't mind, Lucky Singh. You can back him if you want. Like I say, I actually don't think we should even sack him at the moment based on who's available. So it's not like I'm not backing him. I'm just saying that if you analyse his performance as manager over the last season, it was pretty gash. You know, but he did win the FA Cup, which is a big plus point. But there's no way you can defend finishing 8th with a goal difference of -1 and getting dumped out of the group stage of the Champions League. So, you know, it's like, it's not a perfect season. It's far from it. You just have to be honest and say that he's had an average mixed bag of a season. He still had some successes. We won the FA Cup, fair play. But, you know, it's not like he's proven himself to be a fantastic manager over the last year. Not at all. Ahmad wasn't fully match fit till March. He couldn't play. But then when he was fit, he should have played a lot more. You know, when he was coming on and looking good, he should have maybe started in the next game. You know, there was a couple of times where he came on and looked good and we could have potentially started him in the next game. We just didn't. Del R, hola to you, my friend, as well. What's going on, lad? How you doing? Yeah, Chappie says, would we be saying the same about Fergie before he won the FA Cup? Different time, totally different time. You know, Man United had gone a lot longer, obviously, without the successors than just the 10 years. But, I mean, it's a fair point. But, you know, in 2017, Jose's got us winning, you know, European trophies, doing Mickey Mouse trebles and stuff like that. So it's not really the same. United's much further, much closer to the pinnacle than we were when Fergie was here. But to be fair, I know the point you're making. It's like if you sacked off Fergie in the opening 5 years before we won that FA Cup and turned the corner and then had that unbelievable success, we would have just done ourselves out of 26 years of absolute glory. So I understand the point you're making, but you know, the only real way to answer that is that nobody knows if Ten Hag can go on and be the next Fergie unless we give him 5 years. And it's a performance industry. It's a results industry. If you know, you're not gonna be here in 3 years' time, finishing 12th place like Fergie did back in the fucking late 80s, lad. It's a different time. We've got to be honest and say it's a different time. Jeff says, yo, Piggy Anthony's half decent, said that fan, then let's reduce his contract by half. You laid it out in one sentence. 1 goal in 29 games, he's shite. That is shite, lad, yeah. It is shite. Adam says, hi, mate, what players do you think United will go for this summer, mate? Well, we're linked to Elise, aren't we? But he's obviously linked to a lot of different clubs. I think Brantwaite's quite a realistic possibility. I mean, me personally, I would look at the likes of Palhinha. Maybe Tony's quite realistically linked to us. You know, who knows? Depends on our manager, as I've said. Let's get some decent players before pre-season, give them match time to break them in. Well said. Yeah, that's it. We need to get them before pre-season. That's right, Rajat. Mount has 1 goal from like 10 appearances. Well, he's absolutely crap signing as well, lad. You know, that's another thing about the signings we made under Ten Hag this last season. They were mostly bad. The fact is there's better teams with better players that have won nothing for years. Give me some examples. You know, Fair play to you, though. That's fair. I mean, I guess. Anyway, right, I'll read a couple more comments out, guys. I've just realised we've been on here for an hour and 10 minutes. How did that happen? But yeah, keep smashing the likes, guys. Keep helping out the channel by dropping a little thumbs up. Hit the likes, hit the subscribe, get your thoughts in. I'm going to read a couple more out before we wrap up. No more English hype players in United, for God's sake. Well, it doesn't. I'm not bothered about the nationality of the player. I just don't want to overpay for these players, and I want the player to be coming in for, you know, the right job, and that they're good enough. You know, not just because they're an English homegrown player we can fill a quota with, i.e. Mason Mount. That was a ridiculous signing to spend all that money on somebody who's just an average fringe player. Shocking season he had for us. And that was always going to be the case, really, because, you know, it's just, we overpaid. We massively overpaid. We'd already started off on a wrong foot by paying 60 mil for the guy. Yeah, no more Dutch signings from the Dutch league. Again, I'm not that bothered about that, Jonathan. I think it's just about the right player. But, you know, like, look at Martinez. We got Martinez from Ajax. We got Martinez from the Dutch league. So he looks great. He's going to be great for us for a number of years. He's got the mentality. So I don't know about all that. It's just that we've got to identify better players. Thank you, Stephen Shipman. Get in there, my son. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this video up now. It's been an absolutely great chat. Get in there, Frankie. What are you celebrating, lad? Oh, the FA Cup final. Get in there, my son. I'm going to wrap this video up now, guys. But thank you, every one of you legends that's got in here and discussed the latest with me. You're a bunch of legends. That's the latest United news. Simon Stone and Fabrizio Romano reporting that there's a £40 million price tag on Jadon Sancho's head and that he will be sold this summer if we can find a new club for him that's interested in paying that money for him. And obviously his wages, which is a big if, to be fair. Reportedly, Thomas Tuchel obviously had a meeting with Manchester United and he's not interested in the job as of right now. Are the reports from the likes of Fabrizio who say that he wants a break. So the way I see it is Ten Hag's probably the most likely to start the season with us at this particular moment in time. Jarvis says, Pig, how would you react if Southgate were announced as our new manager? Right, okay, you know what I would do? I would set up a wallpapering table in my garden, mate, with a cardboard cutout of Gareth Southgate laid on top of it. I would then proceed to climb to the top of my 2-story house, mate, on a fucking ladder, and then Randy Savage elbow off the top of my fucking roof, through the fucking wallpapering table, through Gareth Southgate's cardboard cutout body, lad. That's what I would do. It would be the most ridiculous thing to comprehend ever. It would be the most... I don't even want to think about that, lad. Anyway, we're going to leave it there, guys. And on that note, we're going to end. Thank you for watching. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch and Kick at Flying Pig United. Check out the website, flyingpigunited.com. Check out the gaming channel, Flying Pig Gaming. Check out the darts channel. I've now got a darts channel, guys, called Flying Pig Darts. Give us a subscribe over there at Flying Pig Darts as well. Nice one if you're not already. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, click the bell icon. Come back after this video is finished. Get your thoughts and opinions in about anything we've discussed. Have your say. The debate does not have to stop there. This community is bloody awesome. Keep the debate going afterwards. Thank you, everyone, for watching. But no, Southgate would be an awful addition to this football club. I can just almost guarantee he would fail. I can almost guarantee it because he's just too much of a melter. His club management record is pathetic. Guys, that's it from me. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. Great chat as always. Piggy loves you. Have a good one. I'll be back with more United news updates. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Luan. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for the mods. Thanks for the members. Thanks, everybody else getting in. We'll be back covering all the latest United news in a no bullshit way. So keep yourself peeled on the channel, guys. Nice one. That's it from me. See you later on. Piggy loves you. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler. There it is, Hoopman. Yes, Hoopman. Thank you. Guys, do us a favour. I'm going to pin it to the top of the chat here. Guys, thank you, Hoopman. Please give us a follow at Flying Pig Darts, new darts channel. Maybe you'll be interested in that. If you are, go and give us a subscribe. Darts content over there. Nice one. Cheers, Hoopman. I've pinned it to the top of the live chat. There it is right there. Thank you, guys. Everybody in the chat here. You're a bunch of legends. Thank you, Colin, Luan, Hoopman, all the mods, all the members and everyone as well. J United, you legend. Stay classy. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.